Hello, I'm Sarah Nolan with Life Upleveled Real Estate, and I'm making this video today to talk about how to know if it's a good time for you to buy when this has been such a crazy marketplace. Um, it is still very much a seller's market, so a lot of people have been concerned about selling and then buying because yes, it's awesome to make a lot of money selling your house, but then they wonder, is it going to be worth it to pay um, a higher price for the house? So there are a lot of different things to consider with this to determine whether or not it's going to be a good investment that go way beyond just that initial sale price. So one thing to consider, the first thing is your two options. One is to sell now while you can get amazing prices for your house. I mean, if you bought in the Denver area, um, let's say 4 years ago, then you're going to be walking away from that sale, depending on your situation, with at least $100,000. And I have seen up to, let's see, $400,000. So there's quite a bit of opportunity there for selling. And what I like to look at is overall opportunity. Okay, so that's one scenario is that you sell and walk away from, say, $200,000, walk away from the sale with $200,000 in your pocket. That might be a little bit less, might be a little bit more, but I've been seeing that's very common. Um, and then you can go and buy something for, say, five or $600,000, which is way more than you would have bought, obviously, when you bought your house originally. Um, but here are some things that's going for you. One is you have that big chunk of money to put towards your next house, which means you don't need an FHA loan, which means you can pay down your principal even faster. You can use some extra money to pay down any debts that you have, to buy a second investment. Um, and the other thing to consider is that interest rates are super low right now. Even though they're going up a little bit, which is, by the way, a time that's an indicator that now's a really good time to buy because interest rates are starting to go up. But still, they're at record low rates. You can still get an interest rate of about 3%, sometimes a little bit less. So, so you've got those things working for you. One is you get top dollar for your house. You get a super low interest rate, which means you get to pay down the house faster. You get to build your equity faster, and um, and those things are oftentimes even more important than the actual sale price. For example, when I bought my first house many years ago, the interest rate was about 6%, which even that people were saying was a really good interest rate. And if you look historically, 6% is a good interest rate. But that's what it was. We paid about 220 for the house, and our effective payments, what we were paying on our house every month, was almost the same as what we're paying on our house now, which was about double the house. We paid double the price. Um, and so that is what's happening with these houses today, is that even though you're paying more to buy a house, in a way, I'm going to get to something else in a moment that makes that not necessarily true, but in a way, you're paying more for the house. In the end, on a principal basis, you're actually paying much less than it appears on paper because, for example, when we bought our house just a couple years ago, we had almost double the interest rate than we have right now. So even though if we were to buy a house right now, we'd be paying more, we actually would be paying possibly the same, just depending on how the numbers worked out because of the low interest rates. And we would be getting a massive chunk of cash with the sale. So it's like you really come out ahead on both sides, the selling and the buying side in that respect. Now, if you do it right with buying right now, then you can assure that you're not going to pay above listing. Like my clients just went under contract where so many other people are paying like $20,000, $50,000 above the asking price. They're paying the asking price. And I have even seen sometimes people paying below the asking price. So it really just depends on your strategy. And there are some things that you can do, that's for another video, to make sure that you get the absolute best deal that you can. So it really just depends on what your overall goal is. If your overall goal is to just get the lowest sale price possible for your house, then, maybe now isn't the best time to buy something. But if your goal is to have the best investment, then now is, especially if you have something to sell, now is an amazing time to sell and then also buy. Let's see, there was one other thing that I was going to mention. The other thing I was going to mention is that specifically Colorado is an amazing investment area because we are growing as a state, we're financially strong, and is a desirable area to live in. People are coming from other major cities to come to Denver for a variety of reasons, which means, and companies as well. Residences and companies are growing rapidly still in Colorado. So not only is this like market financial wise a great time to buy, but also if you look at just what's happening in our state, it's a great place to invest. Because it's, just the nature of where we are. So there are certain areas like New England, which is where we're from, that has not really been the best place to invest because people are leaving New England to go to other places. So you have to look at those considerations as well. Whereas a lot of the country is saying, oh no, the market's going to crash or the market's going to go way down. I do not expect anything like that to happen around here because we just have a different real estate situation in Colorado than other places. Some other places that are good investment areas are the Midwest. People are leaving places like California and even Colorado to go to the Midwest, where you can get really amazing, like low price deals on properties when people are used to paying a lot of money. So things are just shifting around. People are still coming from California and Texas and other places, New York, DC. They're coming to Colorado, and then people are also going from Colorado to other places, and we're just readjusting where we're living to match our current needs because our needs are changing. And so you can look at how those needs are changing to see what's going on big picture in the market. So I hope that was helpful for you. I know we covered a lot of different things. We talked about what it really means to buy in a seller's market. We talked about the importance of interest rates and the importance of like what's going on in the world and how is that impacting your location as far as it being a good time to buy and invest. So let me know if you have any questions, any comments, and we'll talk soon.